Hey guys, thank you guys for coming for the Econ 251 SI session. My name is Zainab and I'll be your SI leader. So let's start off with, we could go around and just say your name and your majors.
My name is Sarah. I'm a bio major.
My name's Emily. I'm a pharmacy major.
My name is Brian and I'm a biology major.
I'm Shannon and I'm a physics major.
Okay, so for opening activity, we're going to begin with the KWL chart. Does anyone know what that is? Yes.
It's a chart where you write out what you know already about a topic, what you want to know about a topic, and what you learned about a topic.
Awesome. So since this is the beginning of a session, I'm just going to have you guys fill out the K and the W. So each one of you guys could, if you guys could go up to the board and write down one K and one W, and then we could begin our main activity. So you guys can go ahead, and I have extra markers. I think there's one over there. There you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So as someone's doing a K, someone could do a W. That way we can get started quickly. I'm not afraid. Thank you. Hope you guys can keep your markers because we're going to be using them later. So, as we're waiting, can you guys tell me what you guys put for the K and what you guys put for the W?
I said that price does not shift the supply and demand
Awesome.
of a product. And then for my want to know more about like the law of demand.
Okay. Great.
I just remembered from lecture that the supply curve had a positive slope, but I couldn't really remember what was on the axis.
Okay.
And then I wanted to know more about the law of supply.
Okay. Awesome. Does anyone remember what the axes were for the supply curve or the demand curve? They both have the same axes. Does anyone remember what's on the x-axis?
I think X is how much of a product, like the quantity.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. And then the y, can someone tell?
How, like, the price of the product?
Yeah, awesome. Good job. Thank you. Do you guys want to talk about what you guys put for your K and W?
I wrote that, well, I kind of made a mistake, but I wrote the demand curve shifts down.
Okay. Good job for noticing. It's better to make mistakes here than on the exam.
I originally wrote that the number of sellers doesn't shift the supply curve, but then I looked at my notes and realized that I was wrong, and it actually does shift the supply curve.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. That's good that you look back at your notes. So these are all great things that you guys want to know because today's activity is going to focus on what shifts supply and what shifts demand. So we're going to start off with an activity where I'm going to give each of you guys a factor that either shifts supply and demand. So you're going to first read your card and determine if it's going to shift your supply curve or the demand curve. And you're going to find a partner that has the opposite of what you have. So if you have a card that has a factor that shifts the supply curve, you'll find a partner that has a card that shifts the demand curve. And once you find your partner, if you guys want to go up to a board space, and then I'll go on to what to do next. Okay, so you guys want to read it and introduce yourself to your partner once you find your partner.
Would you like to work together?
No, would you do that?
The price of the substitute.
So I think that would change the demand,
The
right?
price of the complement.
The price
Increases, so I think.
changes that would change the demand, I would think, because more people would want to buy it cheaper.
If we have
And then I've read that there's an increase in the number of sellers,
substitute,
so that would
the
increase the
consumption
supply.
increase, then I would increase, yeah, they would both be.
So now we go up to a board space.
Yes, awesome. So if you guys both have demand, then
Then
You have to find a partner that.
Find a partner that has supply.
Mm-hmm.
I might be your partner.
Okay,
I
let me
have, the input price decreases.
see. So input price.
I have there's an increase
Yeah.
in the number of
Okay,
sellers.
so yeah, we match up.
just have
Awesome.
supply things.
So if you guys wanna go, you two can come to this side of the board. Make sure you bring your marker with you, please.
The price of the compliment.
Okay.
So now that you have your partner, I want you guys to draw how your shift of supply or demand will affect the equilibrium. So each of you guys would draw a graph with supply and demand, and then one of you guys would obviously draw a shift in supply and see what happens to the equilibrium, and the other one would do shift in demand and see what happens to the equilibrium. So if you guys want to take some time to do that.
So we had price on this axis, what was on this axis?
Quantity was on that axis.
And then it just looks like a big X originally.
Okay, so we're supposed to
Supply,
draw the original
demand,
supply
and then
our
Yes.
equilibrium.
Okay. Oh, yeah, equilibrium there, good. And, then since mine was demand, it shifted
And
this
then
direction. So
my
actually, we should do a
shifted
different color so we can
this
see
way,
Because,
the
so
price of the
mine went
complement
this
increasing,
way.
so there will be less demand for the product, I think.
Right.
So I would
So
expect our new.
then, yeah, we draw a whole new graph, so this was our new.
This is our new.
And then right underneath there on the sides, you could say what direction the price moved and what direction the quantity moved.
And then that would bear in equilibrium.
Okay. So then we'll start with the same.
Okay, so in mine, let's see.
So then if there's an increase in number of sellers, so then the quantity is gonna go up.
And
So then this
price
would be my
also.
new.
increase, I
Supply.
think, right? Maybe to there.
Wait, no, that's not right.
Quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Price increase as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then let's see from mine. So this was my new line here. Maybe give it a equilibrium.
Yeah.
This way?
Yes.
I think
So
that's
that's
fine. And then quantity increase in supply. Increase.
So that would be the new equilibrium.
And then price.
And this one, it looks like the quantity is decreasing in price, is it decreasing? I don't know if that's.
Interesting, I'm learning so much.
Okay, so like for example, oh sorry guys. So like, so price, what direction the price
Your
moved?
quantity
Price increase.
So they both went the same way, correct?
Yes.
So if this was both happening at the same
because
time,
there's
would
more
price increase or
people-
decrease?
There's more competition, there's more
Yeah, so
sellers.
they have to
Yeah.
sell for a lower price. That would make sense.
Would it just increase it since they increased in both cases?
Exactly, and then the quantity,
Quantity increased too, so it would just keep increasing.
awesome, exactly. So, and so for, if your quantity was, if one of your quantity was decreasing and one was
I
increasing,
think this one.
would you know
because
exactly
the
which
demand
effect is
is going up,
bigger by
the
just
price is gonna
looking at the
drop
graph?
So they can get more people to buy it.
That makes sense. They wanna make sure.
No.
Awesome, so that would be indeterminate, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so does it make sense now?
Yes.
Awesome, and then you guys, so overall, if you had both of them happening at the same time, what would be happening to your quantity? Let's start with your price, what would be happening to your price?
Price would go down, because
Awesome.
it goes down for both
Mm-hmm.
conditions. But I don't understand about quantity, because for hers, the quantity goes down, but for mine, the quantity goes up.
Okay,
So would then the quantity stay the same that way?
no, Emily, would you like to, tell her what that's called when, if it's going down in one case and up in the other case?
Yeah, if it goes down one time and up the other time, then that just means it's indeterminate. We can't really tell unless we have more information.
Okay.
Awesome. Great. So good job. So, do you guys now, could you guys be able to draw shifts of supply and demand and see how it changed equilibrium? Awesome. So we're gonna quickly just do a worksheet up on the board that has came up with 2 different acronyms to help you guys remember the 5 factors that shift supply and 5 factors that shift demand. So if you guys take the worksheet and just fill out what you guys think each of the acronyms stand for. So for supply, I use the word Sprite, and then for demand, bright. So just take each of those letters of the word, and what do you think, which factor you think goes to that letter, belongs to that letter. Does it make sense? Awesome. So you guys can erase on the board and just write it, just how it's written on the worksheet, and then we can go over it.
So are we both doing both?
Are we
Say it
like,
again.
Are we both doing Sprite and Bright, or like they doing Sprite and we're doing Bright?
So with your partners, so you would do bright, she would do Sprite.
Oh, okay.
And then you would do bright, you would do Sprite. So just take turns on the board.
Which do you like better, bright or sprite?
Okay, you wanna be Bright or do you want to be Sprite?
I can do bright.
Okay, so I'll be Bright. Cause I'm very bright. Okay, so with B, which I feel like that probably is buyers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so bright goes with
R.
supply or did it go with demand?
I'm gonna skip that one, I'm not sure.
I believe bright when
I is probably
demand.
and, okay.
So that must be
Two would be taste.
buyers. That makes sense.
And I remember they were saying that
and then income
expectations.
was the I.
Remember that from lecture.
Taste.
Expectations was one of those. So what would R be?
Expectation. Do you remember what R means?
Maybe when we were talking about
Oh, yeah.
in your,
Yeah,
in
because
your
that was like
graph,
if a different thing.
that
like
if the
different
price of one
brand
thing
or
went up,
something. Yeah.
then the other thing
So
was,
it's
the
related.
demand for the other thing would go down. So what is that called?
Like related products?
Yeah.
That looks good to me.
Yep.
So if they're
That makes
related
sense.
goods, but what type? Related goods, there's 2 different kinds. There's related goods in consumption, and then there's related goods in
Production.
production. So which one do you think will shift to demand?
And be the
Demand is the people that are
Yeah.
buying it, so probably consumption.
Yeah, awesome.
That makes sense.
Good job.
I feel like I could remember that was from this acronym.
Yeah, I do too. This would be really helpful in studying. Okay, so you have to do Sprite.
Okay.
Right. So we'll do the letters first. Okay, so I'm writing over here. R. And then E. So since we just talked about R, I think I'm gonna do that one first. So I think it'll be related goods again, but this time it's dealing with supply. So I feel like it should be like related goods in the production of the product.
Yeah, that makes sense.
T
It's like if you're making, I don't know, erasers and felt becomes more expensive.
people are going to. And then S is the person who sells the product, right? So we have our seller. P that provides the supply product. We have price of the product, so the seller gets to determine the price. I'm not sure for I, so we'll come back to that. I think T is tech. And then you had E as expectations. You feel like that's probably the same. And then
I feel like I remember that in lecture that she said that they both have
I would think,
expectations.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's inputs, because if you're
I don't really remember how
you're
it
wanting
affects.
to supply something
supply,
out and
though.
stuff in.
I guess maybe that makes a lot of sense. If like the consumer, or like if the consumers really want a certain
I'm
product.
glad you remembered this was tech, because I thought it was taste.
So it's just
or
like,
the
yeah.
tastes, but that was
And it's
different.
cool that they have some of the same
Mhm.
words. Or maybe if you expect more people to buy Christmas decorations around Christmas, you would produce more decorations.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So do you guys notice
Do
a
you know
problem
why
with Sprite?
sections?
So you guys have,
all correct.
go ahead.
I think the P and I should be.
Well, I didn't think it was income, but that doesn't make sense. for
Okay,
supply.
not reversed.
Switch.
we have
Are they?
input for theirs, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
remember
not sure
what
that.
It's actually, so I couldn't think of a word that,
Yeah.
without the P, so it's actually input price. So you just have to make sure you realize that input and price are both.
Are you
One
guys talking about input?
Yes.
Yeah,
We're
we're
not
confused
sure.
about that.
We saw you put that, but we're not really sure what it means.
I thought that the I in that case would be input because if you're producing something to make the supply, you have to put your resources into the system, so.
Okay. And Sarah, do you remember what you had for your no? What? Can you remind us what you put for your
Oh, and that price doesn't shift the supply and the demand.
K? Okay. So is there something wrong with your guys' Sprite acronym?
I think it, yeah, we have price there, so that doesn't make sense.
Okay. That's my fault because I couldn't think of a word that didn't have the P. So actually input is called input price. So you would just have to make sure you connect the I and the P. And it's input price, so don't
Oh.
forget. Does it make sense? So price never shifts supply or demand, correct? Does it make sense now? Okay.
So then input price, isn't that basically the same thing as related goods in production? I don't understand how those are different.
Okay, so can someone, does anyone know what input price is? Okay, for example, if you were gonna make brownies from scratch, what would be something that you would consider input price?
Eggs.
Eggs, because you're using eggs for your brownies, so that would be your input price. Does it make sense?
Right, but that's a good that I'm using in the production of the brownies.
Okay, so the related goods in consumption and production refer to two different types. Do you remember what they were?
There's the complements
Complements
and substitutes.
and substitutes.
So like substitute something you could use instead of that product, and complement I think is something you would buy with that product. Like
So as a buyer, yes, that
as a
would,
buyer.
yeah, so that would be complement and substitute in consumption. That's correct. So now there's
So
also,
if we were making brownies, the complement to the eggs would be like flour.
not necessarily. So for complements in production, it's kind of tricky to actually like think about. So in lectures, you use a really good example. Can anyone remember it? It's with beef. So when you're making beef, what's something that's like a byproduct of beef? Starts with an L.
Leather.
Leather. So those would be complements in consumption. So in production. So complements in production is pretty much like a byproduct. Does it make sense? So then complement in substitute in production.
is something you could use instead of another material.
Okay, so as a seller, it wouldn't be in terms of usage. It would be as
Production.
exactly. So
So like if you use like plastic instead of glass to make something. No.
no. So okay. So think of yourself. So if you're in the sellers, if you're a seller, and two goods are, let me give you an example of that could be substitute in production, like brownies and cupcakes. So what do they both have in common?
They're tasty.
JC, okay, as a seller. So if you're producing them,
They need flour.
yes, flour. Both need flour.
Eggs, milk, similar ingredients.
Yeah, so if you could use the same ingredients to make either cupcakes or brownies, then those would be substitutes in production because you're thinking of yourself as a seller. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that people really mess up on the exam. So it's really good that you guys are asking these questions and helping each other out. Okay, awesome. So now we can move to our final activity. So our final activity would be filling out the last column of our KWL chart. So what does the L stand for? Can someone remind me?
What you learn.
What you learned. Awesome. So if you guys all want to take turns and write something that you learned from the session, that'd be great.
I learned that Sarah is moving on the economics line.
I was gonna say the same place.
I learned that you don't draw shifts for both supply and demand
On the same.
on the same graph.
Awesome.
I learned that there are two kinds of related products.
And do you guys remember what the two kinds were?
Products in consumption and products in production.
So yes. No, so there's, yeah, okay, awesome, but do you remember what the two different types of related goods in consumption or in production are?
Complements and substitutions?
Substitutes, yeah, exactly, great job. So Emily, would you like to write something that you learned?
Yeah, so I would just say the difference between complements and substitutes.
I learned where the equilibrium is.
That's very important. And equilibrium is where? Anyone tell us?
It's where price and quantity meet.
Not
Or
price and,
intersect.
so the price and quantity intersect?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand intersect. Awesome. Good job. So just a quick recap. So to remember the 5 factors that shift supply, can we all say it together? What's the word? Right. And then demand?
Right.
Right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming to my session. My next session is Wednesday at 5:30 in the same room. So I hope to see you guys then, and we'll be talking about more about the shifts of supply and demand. So hopefully I see you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was so helpful.